is sort of the decline of religion.
The question of a power beyond people, beyond our consciousness, a creator, but it sounds like you're open.
Yes, I'm very open to. I'm driven by curiosity.
Where are you on that?
Elon Musk was on Tucker Carlson's show, and they start talking about the downfall of religion and why it has such a bad impact on this country. So make sure to watch till the end, because I have a Bible verse that will tie all of this together. Let's get right into it.
I mean, part of it, I suppose, is sort of the decline of religion. So, you know, as the saying goes, nature abhors a vacuum. So when you have essentially a decline in religion, an increase in the secular nature of society, for most people, they need something to fill that void. And so they adopt a religion. It's not called a religion, but effectively like woke, the woke mind virus.
Yes.
It takes the place of religion.
Yes.
And they internalize it and they feel it with religious fervor.
Yes.
And
rigidity.
Yes. And they, you know, they essentially conduct like a holy war, effectively. It's just not called a religion, but it is a religion, sort of a woke holy war. And they're highly resistant to change, as is normal for religions. So now, for myself, I sort of see myself as a sort of, you know, engineer, physicist. For me, I'm culturally Christian. I grew up Christian. I mean, I was Anglican, was baptized. You know, I went to Sunday school.
Yeah.
Actually, oddly enough, I was sent to Hebrew preschool and Anglican Sunday school at the same time. So it was Hava Nagila one day, Jesus Elo the next, which is, you know, if you're 5 years old, it's fine. You know, so.
But yeah, that's interesting that he's willing to say he's a cultural Christian. But like, if you take God out of this country, yeah, there's going to be something else that fills that void. And now it's like he's saying, the woke mind virus, where now people are taking God out of the country and they're just doing whatever they want. They want to live for their fleshly desires. And that's their new religion. Or we're going to fight against anyone who disagrees with our agenda, which can be dangerous. And that's what happens when you don't have God in this country and you want to live for yourself. Something crazier is going to come about. Something wild is going to happen. And it's most likely not going to be good. That's why we need to put Jesus first and have him at the center.
But I'm not Jewish. It's just that my father's two partners in his engineering firm went to the same Hebrew preschool, and it was near our house, so I just got sent there. So, but I you know, I you know, I maybe this will make me even more enemies, but I have trouble sort of believing all these stories, these religious stories, but obviously a lot of people do, and I respect people who want to have religious views. I'm not trying to dissuade them from their religious views, but anyway, I'm just saying, I guess the operating system I have is sort of a physics engineering operating system where I try to understand as much as possible about reality. You know, in physics, you're not supposed to believe anything absolutely. You're supposed to question things. That's how you discover new physics. You know, in engineering, that's how you discover if your machine will work or not work. Will the rocket get to orbit? Will, you know?
Yeah.
You know, if you.
But can't you do that with Jesus and religion? A lot of times people will be like, I want to believe absolutely 100% that Jesus is real. I want to see him come out of that grave and be alive. But if you say with physics and your studies, you can't know 100% if it's going to work or not. Can't you apply the same logic to some of the Bible stories? And for Jesus, the resurrection, there's so much proof for that. There's so much, at least evidence. Obviously, we can't say 100% true that we could show you, but we have faith and we believe. But we can also know that there's a lot of evidence for Jesus. 5,700 manuscripts. 20 years after Jesus died and resurrected. They would have never made this up. Like, they all died for it. People make up things to gain, but they don't make up things to die. That's what's crazy. There's some evidence for you there.
is designed with physics in mind correctly, it will get to orbit, and if it is not, it will not get to orbit, no matter what your belief system is. You can believe, whether, yeah. It's I meet a lot of people, speaking of LA, I meet a lot of people in LA who believe witchcraft is real, and then you can do spells, and that spells and witchcraft, magic is real. I'm like, can you magic us to the moon? And no one has yet been able to magic us to the moon. Well, spells can't be that good. Okay, if you can't, I want to go to the moon. Let's go. How about Mars? And
So we got to the moon the first time.
we definitely went to the moon. I swear. Yes, we went to the moon. We didn't go to the moon. We went to the moon several times.
Right. Oh, yeah. I just want to check your view on that.
We 100% went to the moon. I know in depth the technical designs of the rockets, the spacecraft, everything.
Yes.
What went right, what went wrong, and it was a remarkable piece of technology, like an incredible piece of technology to go to the moon in '69.
Yeah.
That was like reaching into the future and pulling the future forward dramatically, and it was an important ideological battle with communism, because they couldn't put a person on the moon, and capitalism could.
Do you believe there's a power higher than people?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot we don't know. We don't know, why does reality exist? Where did it come from? Where are the aliens?
Aliens? I think it's funny how he's just like, magic's never gotten us to the moon. What? That's crazy. And it's true. Magic hasn't. And it's funny how like people in LA are like, oh, I love magic, but I'm not going to believe in God, but not the God of the Bible. Obviously, the way God has created us to work at things, to make things happen, he's given us the capability to design things and put things together, because God is the creator. Therefore, we are made in his image, so we also can create.
What questions should we ask that we don't even know to ask? So,
When you say, what are the aliens?
where are the aliens?
Oh.
Like, why don't we see them? A lot of people think we see aliens, but I've not seen any evidence of aliens. We've got 6,000 satellites in orbit, and not once have we had to maneuver around an alien spacecraft.
Right. But on this Earth, the U.S. military's had to do a lot of maneuvering around objects they can't explain.
Well, unidentified flying objects is one thing, but there's always a bunch of classified programs that are underway of new aircraft and new missiles and things. So that are classified even within the military. So it's only if you have the top secret compartmented clearance would you know about this new program. So then some pilot sees something moving fast and says, "Hey, I saw a UFO." I'm like, "Yeah, that was actually a new weapons program, but we can't tell you that." If you can guarantee.
That's really interesting. So he thinks that aliens are just like some test programs or unidentified objects.
That the split second I see any evidence of aliens, I will immediately post that on the X platform. And it'll probably be our #1 post of all time.
That'll be the biggest day,
yes,
for sure.
But
to the question of a power beyond people, beyond our consciousness, a creator, where are you on that?
Well, we must have come from somewhere. So I guess that there must be some creator or creative force or something that caused our existence to come into being. What is the nature of that creator? That I think is unknown. At least I think it is.
I don't think it's unknown. I think it's the God of the Bible, and he written it plainly for us. God, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth, and he's going to ask him here, who created us?
I don't know of a definitive answer to that.
But it sounds like you're open
Yes, I, I'm very open to, you know, I'm driven by curiosity,
Yes.
and I'm trying to understand more about the nature of the universe. So my driving philosophy is to understand the meaning of life, or really what questions to ask if the meaning of life is not the right question. Like, as Douglas Adams made the point in The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, that the like what is the meaning of life is probably not even the right question. Um, so, famously, in that book, the Earth was actually a computer to figure out answer to the question, what is the meaning of life? And then it came up with the answer 42. But then they're like, what does that mean? And it's like, oh, that's the answer, but the question is the really hard part, and you'll need a much bigger computer than Earth to figure that one out.
So now I have a Bible verse that will tie all of this together. In Genesis 1:1, it says, "In the beginning God created the heavens and the earth. The earth was formless and empty, and darkness covered the deep waters. The Spirit of God was hovering over the surface of the waters." So guys, go to God today. Know that He loves you, and He created you for a purpose. He created you to have a life that is fulfilling with a relationship with Him. Do that today. Admit that you're a sinner. Believe that Jesus died on the cross and rose again in 3 days so that you could be saved. So I encourage you to do that today. In the description below, you can decide to fill out if you want to follow Jesus for the first time. I encourage you to do that today. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Please like this video and subscribe. I'm trying to hit 100,000 subscribers by the end of the year. So thank you for all your love and support. It means the world to me. And guys, you might like this video here.